Hey guys, it's True Survival here. I wanted to make a quick video, and I don't know if it's going to be quick, but it's going to be a video, as you can tell. I want to get into a very explanation-y kind of thing here, I guess you could say, about what I say on each of my videos at the end of it. And that is the whole thing of me saying, the question to ask yourself is, are you paranoid, or are you paranoid enough? You might not understand what I'm saying by that, but I want to kind of explain my reason behind that thing. I'm a father, and I'm pretty sure that there are maybe people that watch this channel that are parents, or if you're not even a parent, there's still a way that this interprets to anybody out there. And what that is that life, it just hits you. You can get killed walking your dog tomorrow. You can get killed by this, that, or the other, or you could die a very, you can have a very long life and die of natural causes. You just never know what is going to be in store for you. So my explanation behind that phrase is the fact that, are you paranoid? Yeah, I might be. Reason being behind the whole paranoid thing is, don't go like all freaky out, like, oh my god, paranoid, back in high school when you smoked a little bit, you saw cops behind you while you're driving home, or riding with a buddy and they're toasted and you're the sober one and you should be driving but you don't have a license, and yeah, you can go on with that story. So yeah, let's cut that right there. Not that type of paranoid. The paranoid part is this. As me, for a father, being a single father is one of the best jobs in the world. It's a very hard and stressful job, but it is also, at the very end of the day, when everything comes down to it, is the most rewarding job of your life. Your kid looks at you to protect them, to keep them safe, and to love them. And we all love our kids unconditionally. There's no amount of love in the world that can explain how much we love our children if we're parents. And people that aren't parents will understand that when they do decide to have kids. But for them, it's like this world has so much stuff involved. Even for yourself, there's so much stuff involved with this. And there's so many things going on. There's, the whole scares if you watch like certain shows, like there's solar flares that can knock out our electronics. Okay, there's super volcanoes that can erupt and put us into a nuclear winter. Okay, the polar ice caps are melting and blah 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 blah, global warming. Okay, nuclear fallout. Okay, so many different ways you can say that you could be paranoid about the end of the world or the apocalypse or this, that, or that, economical collapse, blah, anything. My thing about it is this. You need to be paranoid a little bit about it and understand what's going on around you. And when I say, are you paranoid enough? Are you paranoid, or are you paranoid enough? There's really no in between in that. It's basically, okay, I understand the situation that's going on in the world, and I understand how it affects me, and how it affects my children, or my friends, my family, blah blah blah, and so forth. But at the end of the day, are you paranoid about it to where you just know? Or are you paranoid enough about it to where you actually do something? Not as in go out here and go, oh my god, no, as in preparing yourself, giving yourself the skills for self-reliance, giving yourself the skills of bushcraft, making things, blacksmithing, gardening, farming, anything possible to keep you, and you and your family alive. Now, I've seen so many things. Like, I know people that live in here, and I mean, I'm in West by God, Virginia. We are, well, how about, I'll put it this way. I live south of the Mason-Dixon line. When somebody says they don't hunt, you look at them like, what? Why not? Buddy, you need to get out more. That kind of stuff. I hunt. I know how to do it. I don't do it a lot. But when I kill something, I make sure that every single piece of that animal that gave its life for me to have nourishment in my body and my son's body, I make sure that that animal is good in all different kinds of ways. Now, what I can't eat or what I can't use will stay out in the woods for the other animals to get. That feeds them. That's a circle right there. I take the antlers. I can make ferro rod out of them, you know, drill out some of the antler and put a ferro rod in there, glue it together. Next thing you know, you got yourself a nice good handle on your ferro rod. Or you can make, you know, like stag knives, you know, like basically, you know, the handle of your knife is an antler. The skin of the animal can go for clothing, carpets, anything like that. Leather for you to make sheaths for your knife or tools or this, that, or the other. There's even some bones in a deer that you can use as tools. When I go hunting, yes, I cut out the heart and I eat the heart. Heart is actually a very good thing. Fried up, and it's one of the most delicious parts of that. I do like liver, stuff like that. I mean, I'm a country boy. I like, you know, I like my stiff. I'll put it that way. So, I mean, there's so many things that you can do to prepare yourself for this kind of stuff. You know, electricity goes out. Maybe you have a kerosene heater. That's fine, but kerosene's eventually going to run out. I prefer a wood burning stove. You can pack up the firewood all you want. When you get low, you can go outside, chop you down another tree, and cut it up, and boom, you got some fuel for your fire. Now, you want to be preservative, I guess you could say, about it. If you cut a tree down, you want it to be able to where you can plant some more. You know, cut one tree down, plant like 10 more. You know, keep it that way. That way, you know, you keep it going and everything. That way, when you take something down, something else grows. That's how you want to do it. My suggestion for preparedness is get out there, practice. I don't care if you're on your front porch trying to start a fire, you know, with a fire bow or something like that. At least you're practicing it. At least you gathered materials, brought it back there, and you practiced that art of doing that. So I don't care where you practice, just do it. Practice sharpening your knife with different methods, because eventually, you know, there's not going to be getting on the internet and trying to figure out how to sharpen a knife correctly. You figure it out now. Get yourself some books, some ideas. You know, you could take a nice smooth river rock, sharpen your knife with it. I've done it. If you want to hone your knife a little bit better, roll down your car window and take it and just go. Hones a knife blade just like that. There's so many different ways, and there's so many things to learn. And that part is, are you paranoid enough? Are you paranoid enough to get out here and actually do something? Make yourself learn. Give yourself the skills and desires and stuff like that to get it to the point where you know that if something happens, you'll be prepared. I don't need to stockpile a whole bunch of food in my freaking basement and stuff like that. Why? I'll take a bucket full of seeds that I've got and I'll start a garden. For me, I've got trapping methods and I know how to hunt. And no, I'm not going to be using a rifle or anything like that. I'll be using a bow. and I'll be using a recurve bow. I don't really use compound bows. I don't really care for them. They're useless. I mean, yeah, you can kill with them, and so can you with crossbows, but here's the thing. You can't make your own arrows to fire from that. You have to buy those. Now, yeah, take it for granted. You go out here, maybe find a stockpile of them, and you take them. That's great. You can save up a whole bunch of ammo and stuff like that, and you can save a whole bunch of arrows up, and that's all well and good, but eventually you're going to have to figure out a way to make your stuff. Eventually guns are going to become paperweights or clubs. That's all they're going to be used for. So my thing is this. Prepare yourself enough and be paranoid enough to go out here and do something about it. I'm not talking about paranoid as in, oh my God, this is going to happen. No. Don't make yourself crazy about it. Just be paranoid enough to go out here and learn skills and understand it and master them. Just being paranoid itself and understanding what could happen, what could potentially turn into disaster or this, that, or the other, that's a start. But you need to be paranoid enough to do something about it, to actually confront it. Be like, hey, this could happen, and people might think I'm a little bit woo for it, but you know what? I'd rather have the skills of all this stuff and not need it than not have the skills and need it. You know what? It's a great hobby. Get your kids involved with it. I love having my son help me out, because what that potentially does is it gets to the point where if I can continue to get him in these and continue to do this stuff, he might take such a good interest in it that he goes further along with the skills than I have and learns it better. And with that, if he does, that'll keep him out of all the troubles of this world, drugs and stuff like that. That's what I hope for. That's what any parent hopes for. Any parent that gives a damn about their kid. But I mean, it's such a great way. You're not sitting behind, they're not going to be sitting behind their gaming consoles or their cell phones or this, that, or the other. I was going to say computers, but I'm right behind a computer right now making this video. But I don't get on it that much. I like to be outside. I like to be in the woods. I like to be connected with what is actually going on. I have people actually get mad at me because I don't text them back right away on my phone. I don't depend on technology because one day technology will fail. And I do believe that when that happens, a lot of people's going to be like, what in the world do we do? And they're going to be freaking out. And the guys like us that have actually went out here and learned skills, learned how to do stuff and everything, the first thing we're going to do is, here's our chance, let's go. It's simple as that. Why not learn the skills? It's a good hobby. Learn how to sew. Learn how to leatherwork. Learn how to blacksmith. Learn how to garden. Learn how to farm. I mean, I guess garden and farm's kind of like the same thing there. Your wife or girlfriend or whatever could be planting flowers while you're like doing tomatoes and cucumbers and squash and watermelon, and oh my God, my mouth is watering. Man, have you guys ever had squash on the grill? That is a good thing. Sorry. Alright, let's get back to reality here. But the thing with me is that's where that whole entire phrase comes from, of the question to ask yourself is that, are you paranoid or are you paranoid enough? That's what I believe it. You can interpret it in any way you want. It's a favorite phrase of mine. You can literally sit there and do nothing, or you can get up and do something. And I'd rather be doing something than nothing. That's as simple as that. Make sure that you have the skills, you have the knowledge, and if you have kids or loved ones or friends that you worry about, that you want to see them survive through and be a part of that, bring them into it as well. It's great. It's great to get out in the woods. I mean, as guys, we love the woods. Well, most guys. I'll put it, most guys like the woods. Most women like the woods. You know, there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a couple tents up, you know, big cooler full of beer, campfire, whole bunch of buddies around. When somebody breaks out the banjo or the guitar or something, that's what us country boy rednecks love. That's what we do. Start singing about senoritas and moonshine and farts and moon pies and RC cola. Sorry, I'm trying to crack myself up a little bit in this video. It kind of got a little bit too serious for me. But yeah, I mean, that's what that meaning is for me. And I'll give you guys I'm going to give you guys one piece of advice to start learning. And I've got it right here, and I write down a lot of stuff. This notebook's actually pretty much jam-packed full of stuff. I'm like writing on the sides, and it's what I do. But my best area for people that don't know anything about this stuff, and I'll give you a sample of what's in this book, and I'm just going to give you one sample. It's called the 5 C's. It is about Dave Canterbury's 5 C's. Okay? 5 C's of survival, or 5 C's, however you want to put it. The 5 C's, or the 5 C's of survival. So, my first suggestion is that you guys go pick up this book. Bushcraft 101, The Field Guide to the Art of Wilderness Survival by Dave Canterbury. This book it's like the Bible almost. It's like a Bible to the outdoors. He knows what he's talking about. You can go find him on YouTube. And yes, I will sponsor the crap out of him as much as I can. He's a great guy. And Self-Reliance Outfitters, Wilderness Outfitters, or Wilderness Reliance, or I don't know, just type in Dave Canterbury and you'll pretty much find his videos. And the thing about that is he knows what he's doing. Yes, he's been on TV, he's done SHOT shows, he's done, you know, conferences and all this other stuff, but he knows what he's talking about, and he's good at it. And he even has his own school, the Pathfinder School, and it's a great school. I haven't went. I want to, but one thing that I do know that he teaches there, because it's in the book, and it's very basic. It's called the 5 C's, like I said before. And the 5 C's are very, very simple. Number 1, a cutting tool. Knife. Cutting tool. Cover element. A tarp. Something that covers you from the elements. Combustion device is number 3. Ferro rod. Magnesium flint striker. A lighter. Something that will create fire. Canteen. I prefer it to be stainless steel canteen so you can boil in it. You want to be able to boil your water. So make sure that if you do get a canteen or some kind of container to carry water, make sure it's a stainless steel bottle. Simple as that. I can go to Walmart right now and pick one up for like $2 or $3. It's no big deal. You don't have to have anything fancy. Even in his own videos, he has literally put out the basic stuff that you need for his class, his basic class. And he has literally said there, if you can't afford something like this, find something that you can do and bring it. It'll do. It's what you have that matters and what works for you. Go to Walmart, get yourself a stainless steel bottle that you can literally boil water in, and you're good to go. And the other thing on here that's number 5 is cordage. Cordage, paracord, rope, twine, bank line, any type of that kind of stuff. Anything that you can use to lash things together, tie things up. Hell, make a belt out of, because you're on day 13 of survival. You haven't had much to eat other than a couple berries and maybe a squirrel and a rabbit. And you've lost about 13 or 14, 15 pounds. And your browsers, your little trouser thing. I said browser. I said browser. Yeah. Your trousers or your pants are starting to fall off of you. Take a piece of rope, tie it around. There you go. The britches are still up. Fruit punch soda. So, just make sure that you have some skills. A lot of the stuff is very simple, easy, common sense. The first time I started a fire bow, it took me a long time. I've tried and tried and tried. I tried hardwood on hardwood, softwood on hardwood, soft on soft. Different types of combinations. And it took me a minute to get a hold of it. So you have to practice these techniques. That's all I can say. But I want you to think about what I said. I want you to understand what I said. And I want you to realize, hey, I need to do something to kind of get things going. To get some skills going for myself so I can understand how to do this if this happens. Like I said, you'd rather have the skills and not need them than need them and not have the skills. So, keep that in mind. Check out that book. Very, very, very good book. Another book to check out is the SAS Survival Guide. That's another great handbook. Check out those 2 books, and I prefer, if in my opinion, you get Bushcraft 101 of Dave Canterbury's. He's also got a second book out. It's like Advanced Bushcraft. Great books. Check them out. I found the first time I found it was at a library. You might be able to check it out at your local library or request it. It's also on Amazon for like $10. I think I found it on eBay for a couple bucks. So I mean, you can find it, and you can find it pretty reasonable priced. So that's my idea. That's my advice, and my explanation probably went a little bit further than I wanted it to, but I got into a rant. But that's what I think. And until next time, I do want to say thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, helping my channel grow by telling your friends, your family, whatever. I want to thank you for that. And yes, it's still, as always, if we get up to 100 subs, we will have a giveaway, because I think that's going to be a great milestone for me. So there's that still on the plate. And the giveaway is going to consist of a little survival pack that I put together myself, that I made. And it's not going to have everything you need, but it is a good start. So until next time, the question to ask yourself is, are you paranoid, or are you paranoid enough? You guys take it easy, and you guys have a wonderful time. And remember, stay focused and get those skills under your belt. Later.